Hey, and welcome back to Who's Your Helpers. Today we're going to be using this Agri-Fab leaf vacuum. Now I picked this up over the summer and this unit is basically brand new. It's about 3 to 4 years old. He bought it, never used it. So I got it, I changed the oil in the engine. Actually I put oil, it didn't even have oil in it. I had to put one new tire on it because the tire was dry rotted and wouldn't hold air. But I've modified it to fit onto the G1800. So let me just kind of show you what I've done to make this thing work. So on the boot itself, it was uncut and never been cut, and these just come with just kind of a molded plastic. So I had to cut out a chunk of the plastic. I also notched in here, and you can't really see it, but I'll get you some close-up pictures. Just take a check here. But basically I notched in, notched down, and then under this part here that actually mounts to the deck, I put a piece of steel and I welded a bolt through a hole. I'm utilizing the hole that comes in the Kubota deck. Now the BX decks also have a hole here, and I believe that is for mounting of the leaf chute if you're going to put one on. So I'm using that bolt that's coming through is welded to a plate, makes it a little easier, and also adds some rigidity out to the outside edges. Next I'm using a rubber strap just going around one of the legs for the rear wheels. Then it uses a standard bracket for the hose that carries it up there. So we're going to get started and we're going to go out and suck some leaves up. Now I've already blown those leaves out of the flower beds up front. I'll be doing some more and I'll show you that along the way. And what I'm using for that is a Stihl BGA56 leaf blower. I've showed this in several episodes. Excellent leaf blower for its size and its weight. Battery life, about 20 minutes of blowing, and I've got 3 batteries, so gives me a good hour of leaf blowing between charging. Just gonna check the fuel. It's got enough for today. Now I have noticed this engine is extremely hard to start. I think it has to do with decompression, and for some reason the decompression's not kicking off like it should. It's getting better, and I think maybe it's just so many years of setting, things got a little bit gummed up, and now it's starting to work itself. So I usually put the choke on full. You got to give it throttle, fuel's on. Usually 3 pulls, then I back the second notch on the choke. So over here, I don't know if you can hear me or not, I'm going to actually roll over these hosses. So it's going to shoot some stuff out, but that's okay. Now let's talk a little bit about what I really don't like on this thing. So being that it's a trailer mounted unit, you do have, as you go around the corner, it's going to try to cut the corner off. So going around a tree, the tractor goes around the tree just fine. You'll end up hitting the tree on the side of the trailer, which is a little bit irritating. You can't go quite around the corners that you can normally. The other thing with this being a four-wheel steer unit, it will turn a lot sharper than a standard lawn tractor will. So it might not be as big of an issue on a two-wheel steering tractor, but on four-wheel steering, it is a pain in the butt not to be able to do the corners. I think if you're just broadly cleaning up leaves and you don't care if you miss some, it'd be fine because you're just trying to get the bulk of them. But if you're trying to do grass clippings and you're mowing, that's where it would be better to have an attached grass catcher that actually mounts to the tractor so it follows the tractor around instead of being pulled with the tractor and cutting corners. We've got one more area we want to focus on next. All right, so we're back at the back of the property. If you've seen the spring leaf cleanup video I did last spring actually, you'll remember this is the retention pond that we built the diversion ditch around. And you can see it's already filled up with leaves. Now I came out yesterday, lit a match, burned a lot of the dry leaves, but that pipe is clear full for quite a ways in, and they were wet and they wouldn't burn. So what I'm gonna do is get a pitchfork, drag those out, get them up on the yard, and then we're gonna run over that and mulch those up. This is on the other side of the retention pond. You can see there's a concrete breezeway through there. It's clear full of leaves. All of those are going to end up. The whole reason for doing this, it plugs up our drainage system. It's a whole lot easier to handle the leaves when they're not wet versus when they're wet, caked, and just a mess. So I'm going to jump over here and vacuum up that breezeway. right, so we've pretty much wrapped up everything we're going to get done tonight. The sun's already going down. So I'm going to show you how to dump it real quick. You got a couple little turns. You turn up the top. Little bungee straps at the bottom. Now, we haven't been doing a whole lot here tonight, so the trailer's not going to be exceptionally full, but it's got a nice little pile. But I've been using this thing for several other people that had leaves up to the top of my boots that I was wading in, taking 8, 9 of these out of a yard and packed full. And let me just kind of, obviously this has a lot of grass in it, but I'll show you kind of what it looks like. The mower does a pretty decent job of chopping the leaves. It does better when there's more leaves and you're going slower. It'll really chop them up fine. And let me grab some of this other here. So here's some that I chopped up the other day, and you can see it's pretty fine. It does a nice job. I don't think these little pieces are going to blow too bad, especially after it rains on them and it packs them good. I think we'll be good. So anyway, easiest way to do it, it is a tipper cart. You can tip it, but I find it's just as easy just to dig it out because it doesn't tip up enough to really dump. So there's the pile. This is about probably 25% full. It was about a quarter of the way full. Not a huge pile, but any organics I can put into this clay garden, the better. To put the lid in, there is a couple little hook deals down here at the bottom. So just pour in, shut it, strap it, shut it, and strap it. Well, that's going to do this episode of Hoosier Helpers. I hope you enjoyed seeing the Agri-Fab leaf vacuum at work today. How it does a pretty good job of cleaning leaves up. I'll get some still shots of the finished product there. And obviously the G1800 pulling it does an exceptional job. Plenty of power. The mower deck on it's exceptional. I did want to put gator blades on it to try them, but didn't really want to spend the money this year. So maybe next year we'll try a set of gator blades for leaf cleanup. Anyway, please remember to hit like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.